Hey everybody, welcome to another WIP Wednesday.
Hi guys.
I have my Starbucks here because I forgot about it for a little too long, and I'm gonna be drinking this during the stream because it's still warm.
Gone already.
Sorry about that, you guys. It's a very late stream.
Yeah, welcome to our late night edition.
Yeah, and if anybody's even here, I don't know because we don't usually stream at this time.
Yeah.
So sorry that we're a little late. Joey's work schedule has gotten a little bit more heavy of late, so he's been just spending a little more hours at work and getting off a little bit later. So
that and all the crazy rains in our area too.
Yeah. Oh, mute the stream. Mute the stream. It doesn't let us mute the stream until the stream starts. It's very inconvenient.
There we go.
I'm sorry, you guys. This happens every time. Can't make it happen.
Should have been watching for it.
Oh, you know what? We forgot to turn off the autofocus too. So sorry. It's we finally got to eat after Joey got back just a few minutes ago, and we're a little loopy from just how late it is.
Right.
And, you know. Okay.
But anyway.
I wish I had a different surface to put this on. Would you put that over there?
Take that for now.
You'll have to be passing it to me.
I'll be your drink serving.
Okay. The first thing that I should bring up is that we're going to be especially because this is such a late stream for this. Is the mic slowly drifting into frame? I think it is. It's a very professional stream.
We're being descended upon.
Yeah, that's gonna have to move. Sorry.
Oh, that was great.
Okay.
Anyway.
That just happened, and in light of what I'm about to say, because of how late this stream is taking place, I'm not gonna do any edits on this one and not post the highlights. This is just gonna be public after it goes live, so you guys can catch it in the archive.
Right.
But unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to cut any of that out.
Right.
So, well, and on that line of conversation.
Right.
I also wanted to bring up that for the next few weeks, we're actually going to be doing WIP Wednesdays every single week instead of doing it every other week like we've been doing for the past few
kicking it in overtime
before our hiatus because we just started again. Yeah, so
and it's all for
because we're going to be doing a few extra videos this next month because it's going to be, I don't know if you guys have heard of this at all, but it's going to be National Knitting and Crocheting Month next month, and it's called National Knitting and Crocheting Month, but it isn't really technically national because somebody really just made it up, and it just kind of became like a internet phenomenon, I guess you could say.
And trying to get it to catch on.
Yeah, exactly. So to try to push that forward, we're going to join into National Knitting and Crocheting Month, and we're going to have a lot more videos coming out next month than we usually have.
Yeah, a lot more content planned.
Especially lately because I haven't had any videos. Well, I have had a few videos coming out. I'm not giving myself enough credit.
We finally finished our move, and now we're finally a little bit more settled in. Liz has had more time to be able to work on stuff and get stuff recorded.
And actually get stuff done without having to stop every 5 seconds for a car on the freeway.
Right. Oh my god.
It's so nice, you guys. It's so nice. So much better than our old place. So with that, we're going to get on with the whips.
Yeah.
The first thing that we're going to show you is actually going to be on the big camera because it's a very big object.
Yeah. So, I'll just pass it over to you.
Yeah, you just pass it over to me and I'll show it off. So after we moved into the apartment, I've been working on a few furnishing pieces. I showed you guys last week that fabric that I was going to make into curtains. This is going to be a pouf that I'm making.
It's pretty much already made.
Yeah, it's pretty much already made. I'm just putting some yarn embellishments on it to kind of emphasize the seams. And then I kind of, just because I just can't help myself, I'm going to crochet on top of this after just to give it more of I don't know, just to emphasize the design and give it some thicker lines.
So the triangles you're going to crochet on top of? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just going to thicken the lines a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I don't know. It looks nice with the thin lines, but I think I just want them to be a little bit thinner without having to just keep layering and layering more just pieces of yarn.
Totally.
I would rather do it more decoratively, I guess.
Right, so you can more color changes or something.
And also it'll just neaten it up because this is a little bit of a the way that it's done, it's just like, I think I just like layered the yarn and then just kind of stitched around it with a piece of thread.
Right.
So it's not the most neat looking stitching, I guess. I could have done it a little bit neater, but I did not. So I'm gonna maybe just pretty it up with some extra stitches.
Nice.
So it's fairly large.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, and I didn't do the decorative thing on the bottom because why?
It's still got a pin in the bottom.
Oh, is there? Oh, no,
Does that need to be there?
Yeah, it's connecting
Okay.
this. See how this isn't sewn down yet?
Okay.
This is actually pinning it down.
Glad I did not pull
Yeah,
the pin.
no, I'm glad you didn't pull it out either. So we got one of those gigantic boxes of polyfill for this project, and those are hilarious and fun because when you open them, they just explode with fluff, and that's really cool. And they're like fun to like sink into. It's really nice. So we've got a ton of fluff, and I've been using it for I used a lot of it for this, but I have mostly lately been using it for dolls and stuff because I did run out of my doll supply of fiberfill.
Sweet. Tapped into that.
Yeah, a little bit. So.
And then you have a core at the center of this.
Yeah, yeah. Right? This is I guess I just don't like when these are too like squishy. So I actually made a core out of denim just to kind of test the pattern. I made like a smaller version of it out of denim, and I stuffed that with like harder fibers, like just like scraps of material and scraps of denim and like just like yarn scraps and stuff like that, just to have a more solid core. And then I put that in at the bottom, and then just kind of like used the fluff as batting all around it to like layer it and give it this squishy finish. But you don't sink into it all the way because there's a hard core.
Yeah, this holds its shape pretty well, even under.
Yeah, so it's not like a beanbag chair, which I really like. Yeah. So I guess this isn't really a crochet whip at the moment. It will be though. So.
And then both of these fabrics were repurposed.
Oh, too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Excellent co-host. So, so like these two fabrics, this one I actually bought for a specific purpose, and I just had a lot of extra left over. This was a shiny dance fabric that I used for a robot unicorn Halloween costume.
Yeah,
that
if anyone remembers Robot Unicorn Attack.
Yeah, that was an excellent game. But yeah, I dressed as a robot unicorn one Halloween, and I had a bunch of extra dance stretch metallic left over. So I've just been kind of hoarding that for a few years now without really anything in mind for it at all because I already used it for the purpose that I intended it. Right. And then this was a pair of like leggings, like I guess jeggings more like, kind of. Yeah, they're. But
so I think they had little pockets. Right?
Yeah, they had little pockets and like a jean style cut, but they're more of a light, like stretchy material. It was a little thicker than a pair of like regular leggings, which I really liked. So it's like a good, it's a good like similar material to the shiny dance fabric. It was very similar stretch factor. And I just really love the way that the two patterns go together. I'm not sure if you can see the detail of the fabric, but it's like a
it's a good print.
Yeah, it's like a leopard print, and then obviously the shiny. And I just liked how this goes together with like it kind of like they tone each other down a little bit, kind of. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it looks nice without being too much.
It's a good kind of I don't know, almost like dull color a little bit that's good to brighten up with all of the different like colors that you're going to do, because I love how the purple brightens everything up.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the other reason why I kind of want to thicken the purple lines as well. Right. And then the other reason why is because I just want to emphasize this really cool style of pattern. This is like a Moroccan style pouf. I'm not sure if you guys have like seen or are familiar with those, but it's a really simple design. So if you guys want like to make anything like that, you can easily find tutorials on like YouTube and other tutorial pages that just go like it's a really simple pattern. So so yeah, there's that one.
Right, yeah. So there's our poof in progress.
All right. I think I'm gonna go. This one, I showed you guys some of these last week, but I lost one and I just found it. So I just want to show you guys real quick the different sizes that I have. These are the heads of the flowers from the tutorial that I made a couple weeks ago for Valentine's Day. And I mean, flowers are applicable for other times of year. So
Right.
I mean, if you guys still want to check out that tutorial, that's still on the channel.
Seems a long winter, but spring is coming.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's like other flower holidays if you guys want to. And then also there's like, I think people do like crochet their own like wedding bouquets and stuff like that, which is like,
that's adorable.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some really, really cute ones. Like if you guys want to see some amazing things, look up crochet wedding bouquets, because some people do some crazy amazing work with like floral arrangement but in crochet, and that's something that I want to just do on the channel eventually. I want to just do a bunch of flowers. I don't know if you guys have seen on a previous episode of WIP Wednesday, I have this fairy doll that I've been working on for a while, which I'm gonna update eventually, you'll see, but she's like covered in like flowers all over her body, and I kind of just want to do a pattern for all of those types of flowers. Like this is kind of a large version of one of the flowers that I did for that doll, so this is like the first of those patterns. So yeah, let's get a closer look. And we have this nice floral print fabric in the background again. This one's just thrifted fabric that I just have, and if you guys have any suggestions for something that we can make with this floral fabric, just comment down below if you want to do that. So here's the one that I showed you last week, and this is the one that is in the tutorial, and as you can see, it's a red rose. The white balancing is a lot better now. I guess we have a better lighting, and the background is better, so where you can actually see the color of the rose this time. In the last video, it was a lot more orange, so I guess now it just looks nice.
I almost feel like it gets redder when you put it down on the fabric, too. Just holding it closer to the camera makes it oranger.
Nice.
But yeah.
So this one I also showed you last week, which is the smaller version, but I did not show you because I lost it and I just found it because I cleaned the entire living room. But here's this one, which is one layer bigger, and I love the way this one looks. I love this. It's just so like, it's so thick and fat and full and such a pretty rose. So I just wanted to show you guys the different sizes of all three roses. This is with only 3 layers of petals. This one's with 4, and this one's with 5. And you can kind of just keep going with this pattern and just keep adding more and more layers of petals. And if you want to get it really, really big, you can use like a super thin yarn, because as you can see, this is a worsted weight yarn. So it's like, it's a lot thicker. Yes, so if you wanted it to be like a more realistic flower, you could easily make it into, make it out of a thinner yarn and like have a ton of petals.
Right, get them looking super realistic.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That would be a cool thing to do for some of the dolls that have flowers on them, just to give it more, like in that scale and stuff.
Right.
So another thing that I'm going to show you, since I have the closer camera up here, I've been working on a bunch of basic, just basic shape appliques.
No, these have been cool.
Yeah, and I want to like do a bunch of tutorials for these, because I've done some pretty complex appliques that I've had people ask me about before. But I feel like I can't really do, I have a couple of complex appliques. I think I have a couple on the channel that I've already done.
Right.
But
because you have the Vault Boy up, right?
Yeah, the mic is
just dropped all the way
down. The mic is just like on the, I want to adjust the mic. Give me a second, you guys. I didn't tighten it enough, sorry.
Well, Liz fixes the mic. There it goes.
Let's just tighten that up. This is a bit of an old mic stand.
Want to thank everyone though for if you're joining in, or
there's actually people watching.
If you're actually here for this late night stream,
because this is a super late stream. Sorry. Oh, hey, hand me my Starbucks.
And if you're here in the archives, watching on YouTube,
and all of this is going to be public later, so
so
I'm not going to do a highlights for this video. And if anybody is coming in late, let's mention again that we're going to be doing WIP Wednesdays every single week next month for National Knitting and Crocheting Month. So next week we're going to be here again. So
and in case you have no idea who we are, this is Liz Ferry.
I'm Liz Ferry.
I'm Joey. But thank you guys so much for coming and joining us, and feel free to leave a comment or write something in the chat. It's always nice to hear from you guys.
All right, so as I was saying, so I have a bunch of basic shapes that I've been making, and I kind of think that I have to do a bunch of basic shapes applique tutorials kind of before I really go into more of my detailed ones, just because of the techniques that I use. So I feel like it would be a lot easier to explain the techniques if I have like a bunch of super basic applique tutorials. So I'm just going to show you guys a bunch of my basic shapes and like I feel kind of silly saying this, but this is a circle.
I know, right here. We're going
Basic
Sesame
lesson.
Street a little bit right now. So here we have.
Oh, hey, it's Jen. Is that Jen watching?
Hey, Jen.
Bro. Hey, bro.
Here's a circle for you.
Okay, so anyway, so this is a circle. As you can see, and I have a half circle here. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street.
I know, right? This is great.
Here's a rhombus. Oh, I have a couple of rhombuses actually, and like this one is just a regular old rhombus, and this one is a line. This one's got a line of stitches all around it because I just wanted to see how that would look.
It's like a little window almost.
So yeah, you can kind of see the difference in like one has a more jagged edge, I guess, and one has a lot more of a clean straight edge. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's what happens when you line them, I guess. What else do I have? Okay, here's an oval. There's a square here, and I just did a regular a square in rows instead of doing it in the round because I didn't really...
that would have gotten tricky.
Well, it's like it would have been like kind of like a granny square looking thing where it would have had holes in. Hi. Hi, Jen. Dude, we're here. Nice. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, squares. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to have like just a regular solid shape. So this one I just did in rows. What else do I have? Okay, so I have this crescent here. It's not a very good crescent, I don't think. I think I could have made it better. But like, I guess I was kind of like, it looks more like a banana than...
No, it's kind of like a crescent moon. Or...
Yeah, I guess it could be more of a moon. What?
No.
What?
It looks like a paper doll afro. You can just stick it on top of somebody, and then it would be like a little afro.
Or like a hat or something.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's very silly.
If you see that also, comment in the chat.
Okay. But yeah, I think that I just made it so that it came up too sharply at the edges, so I kind of want to work on this one a little bit more.
Right.
I don't know.
Just add a little picot in the center, and it'll be like the man in the moon. It'll be like a little nose.
Yes. It's like, yeah, I guess it almost looks more like a cartoonish moon.
Yeah,
so it's not like
totally.
And I guess it's too much of an oval shape.
Like you could probably you could probably embroider a little face on it.
It just looks like an oval with a bite taken out of it. Anyway, I also have this hexagon, and I have a star that's also not terribly good. I could have done better, I think. Oh. But I have a Sea Stars applique tutorial on the channel that like looks pretty good, but it's not done in the same way. I wondered if this would work well if I did
just the little spiral in the center with the
yeah, because it's just and you can see how many like yarn ends are coming off of it. So
yeah, no, that's a shooting star. See all the trails.
Because it has so many yarn ends, you can kind of tell that I just kind of like kept starting and stopping again, like so each piece of the star is made of a different piece of yarn. And that just bugs me a little bit because I do really like
keeping it all one.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed that about my patterns. I do like to make everything one strand of yarn or have everything like evenly flowing together so that it looks like one continuous piece of fabric. It's like one of my favorite things. The
smallest amount of cuts and sews and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it just bugs me when stuff doesn't come together that way. So there's all of those shapes.
Yeah, it's a bunch of just trippy basic shapes.
All right, so where do I put this?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. If you want,
can sit on our poof.
Nice.
It's comfortable.
And could you switch the camera real quick? So last week I showed you guys my other horse, which is right here actually. So let me show it to you guys again. This is what I'm talking about. This is not. I know. I love how it like flows around. So good. It's too much for the camera. It's going out of focus.
Jen says Mike says hi.
Oh, hi, Mike.
What's up, Mike? To relay the message to myself before I can answer.
Yeah, because I'm slightly farther away from the monitor than Joey is, so I can kind of not see very well the chat.
My eagle eyes, I can see 3 feet away from me.
Excuse me. So yeah, this is the horse that I showed you guys last week. And I made another one here, and this one, you can kind of tell this one's like kind of floppy, and this one is slightly less so because this one has armature in it and this one does not.
Right.
So I can actually do some pretty cool poses with this one. Like, so I'm pretty excited. Oh, and also this is going to be a ponyta, just side note, just because I guess you have to know that because reasons.
Right.
But
the hype is real.
So this is going to be a ponyta.
Oh, really cool.
I'm pretty excited to like. Let me show you guys my old ponyta just so that you can see the flames on it. This is my chubby baby ponyta.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to have these types of flames on it eventually, and this is the one that's going to be like, this is like the final ponyta. This is the ponyta to end all ponytas. I mean, not literally, but you know, like in my progression of ponytas that I have made, because I've made a lot.
Yeah. It's probably the most. Out of all the Pokemon you've made, it's probably the one that you've made the most of.
Oh yeah, I've made so many ponytas. Like, I've done a study of ponytas, but like, but I've finally come to
the horse body looks really
beautiful conclusion of the pattern at last. So that's going to be coming during next month, during our month of more videos, because it's a long tutorial. It's a long tutorial, you guys. If you want to make this, you got to commit because it's going to take a while. It's a very complicated project.
Yeah, it's complicated. So good luck.
And if you've already gotten my my realistic doll body pattern, and if you get that pattern, it will turn into
the natural progression.
Because I'm going to put this out as its own pattern, also, but. If you get if you get the realistic body doll and the horse doll pattern, then you could splice them together and figure it out, I guess. Like, that will also work, I guess.
Right.
But I am going to make this its own pattern. But here's my centaur girl that's using the same. I put this shirt on her because I was just doing a bunch of experimental shirts that I will show you guys in a minute. So this is not her final shirt. Don't worry. She's not going to be wearing a pink shirt. Because I really do not like how that looks.
The pink and brown, yeah, they don't go the best together.
Yeah, it's just this shade of pink with this shade of brown I don't like very, very much. I guess it's just this particular shade of pink. If it were a different shade, maybe, but I just don't like how this looks with this shade of, like, this chestnut brown. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. So, this isn't going to be the final shirt for her, but she's just modeling it for us. But I think I will use this design to make her final shirt because I do like the thickness of it. Usually when I make clothes for dolls, I use a much thinner yarn, but for this one I didn't because I was just testing the pattern, and usually when I test the pattern I don't bother to make it with a thinner yarn because I didn't want to go through the trouble.
It seems like extra trouble for something that's not
exactly. But I did end up liking that because I do like using thicker yarns for certain doll clothes like jackets, shoes, things like that, because they're more of a heavier type of material usually. So on that scale, it just gives, like, it's a nice, like, difference in texture, kind of.
Right.
So, for this, though, I feel like it's going to look more like a jerkin or armor type thing. So. What?
Oh, yeah, he also said you're
it looks like the moon from Mario Odyssey. Yeah, it kind of does, huh? That's funny. No, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Right, if you had like little ball points at the tips.
Yeah, totally. It would kind of look like that. Yeah, that's trippy. But I'm less sad about it now.
Yes.
Nice.
She was meaning to do that the whole time.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking though that when I do make her final outfit, I will do something like this with this same design, but with like a more like natural tone. Like maybe I'll make it like, I don't know, I guess probably green or something. I don't know what color would work best, but I kind of want it to look more like a jerkin type of thing. I could use brown, but I feel like a lot of her design is already too brown, so I don't really want to over brown her design.
If you have ideas for what would make a good color, leave a comment.
But yeah, I'll show you her closer in a minute and the design of these shirts and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that for a jerkin on her, and then also give her maybe a more flowy, like lighter material shirt underneath with like sleeves or something.
Really need to make like a miniature bow.
Yeah, I was considering doing that. I have a couple of new I have a couple of new techniques that I'm going to talk about later that I'm going to be using for more things like that.
Right.
So yeah, could you switch? I said switch. Sorry.
Switch.
I don't know. I could have just left it at that, but anyway, so yeah, let me show you guys this doll a little closer. So she's got these super bright green eyes and chestnut hair, chestnut body, and also super pale skin. So I'm not sure what color I would like to use. It doesn't look too bad on her because of the way the camera shows it, I think. But I think in reality it looks a little bit less good. So, you know, bear that in mind.
Right.
Because the colors on the camera, unfortunately, are not completely accurate. I think that maybe a green, but I'm not sure. I just don't really like how that looks with that color.
Right.
You know, like
I want a bit more of a contrast.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this makes this look too orange. You know what I mean?
Right. They have similar like warm shades to them, so I think they kind of bleed into each other a little bit or something, or I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, it just makes this look more like yellowy orange than red, and I want it to look more red. So I think that taking out this, like not using as much of a red color, because it's pink, it's a little bit more of like, it has some red tones in it, so it's like taking away from the red tones that are in this color. So I think something like with less red in it would make this look more red by comparison.
Right.
So maybe green, maybe blue, maybe
I want to say
purple, but I don't know. Maybe it depends on the purple. Let me
like
show
a violet,
you
maybe.
her beautiful tail and her butt, because I'm
got to show off that horse butt.
I am a little bit proud of this horse butt. I think it took a long time of changing up the pattern and making a lot of horses to finally get that just exactly right. And I'm so very, very, like, I'm so happy with the way that the design looks. And like,
I know, right?
It's gonna take a long time to get there, but I'm pretty.
Let me compare the two butts.
Yeah, because this is what the butt formerly looked like, and that's none too impressive.
Yeah, so sorry guys, we're gonna show you our butts real quick.
Not ours, just pony.
The butts that we have in our possession.
Well, I mean, I guess they're mine.
Yeah.
They're not yours.
That's true.
Okay, so here's like a side by side. So here's a side by side comparison. And also, side note, these are both the same color of Red Heart, but I think this one's a little lighter and this one's a little darker.
You can tell.
So
clearly.
I guess they changed the colors just a little bit between this. Like, this design has taken me so long to do that they changed the color of the yarn.
Right.
Oh my god.
What is even color anymore?
All color has lost meaning because of how long this pattern is taking me to design. So yeah, like that took me quite a few months of development, but I think that the change is pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to those shirts next. And I guess I could show them to you on the horse girl. No, I think that would be a little bit. All right, well, before we get to the shirts, then let me just show you this, just because I think it would be easier to show it on this doll, and I don't want to take this off of her because it would take forever. So I'm just going to show. I've been working on a bunch of other patterns, like as well as the shirts. So if you guys have followed me on Instagram, you might have seen.
Yeah, you might have seen
some of these things on there. But I've been working on these fishnets for dolls, and this is just one of them, and this is the first one that I made. And you can see all of these tails coming out of it because this is actually made of thread. And like, it took a little bit of patience to do this. I love how it looks, but it's not terribly convenient, and there is a better way. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I really do like how this came out, and I think that like that I wouldn't mind just doing it like this if I didn't have the proper materials. Like, it would work fine, but it is just kind of a pain to like to control all those little tiny threads.
Right.
And
string physics, man. It's
yeah, and then the other problem is that because of the strings being like kind of wayward and going wherever they want to go, it does make it like really easy for the threads to just tangle.
Yeah.
And then they're out of your control, and then you might have to just like either painstakingly unpick the knot or which is what I do, or you can like cut it and try to start again with a little bit more thread if you can figure out.
But again, it's the whole starting and stopping thing. I mean,
it's like, it's going to weaken the fabric a little bit, especially with something like this where it's mostly a mesh. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain to sew all these ends in for the same reason, probably because it's such a delicate little mesh.
Right.
But I think that it will be worth it, and I think that it'll work well. And then also you can see these little underwears that I made her as well. I've been working on some underwear designs as well. This is like a basic, like, cheeky bikini bottom.
Yeah, some cheekies.
Yep. So they're pretty cute. And again, these are made of a thicker fabric because when I'm prototyping, I do tend to use this thicker yarn. So when I would make this for the actual doll, it would be a lot thinner and finer material. So it wouldn't be like, because this does look like a little bit thick on her body.
Right.
You can see like a couple of millimeters of material.
I know,
there.
right? Yeah, that's a thick bikini bottom.
Yeah, it's a thick bikini bottom.
We got Shelby saying that is so cool.
Thanks,
Thank
Shelby.
you so much.
Yeah, this one was very tough, but I did get there in the end.
Yeah, that looks pretty intense.
It's not as hard as you would think it is.
Yeah.
It's just maintaining control that's tough. But like if you get into a rhythm of it, it works really well. But I'm going to show you a better way to do this because I do have a way to do this. And I'm just going to show you an example real quick, and then I'll show it to you on a doll in a minute because I don't have it on a doll right now, but it will look nicer on the doll, and the doll that I want to show it to you guys on is going to wait until last because she's the best doll that I have to show.
Right, yeah.
So she's waiting until the end.
We
of the
do
stream.
have an amazing looking doll for the end of the stream.
Not trying to hype this up too much,
Right.
but we do have an amazing doll for the end of the stream. She's not finished yet, but you know, she's close enough that
this is still the work in progress stream.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so here is this other one. My crochet hook is holding it right now because I don't have my doll. But this one is made out of elastic thread. See?
Oh, yeah.
And that is a way easier way of doing this. So,
and it seems like it would look more natural too. Just
oh
when
yeah,
pulled
yeah.
over.
It like lays flat against the doll's skin, and it stretches to fit, so it just looks nicer. Because the other thing that bothered me about this design is you do have to make it a little looser than the doll, and you can kind of see that at like at the ankles and at the knees. It's kind of floating a little bit away from the doll's body. So, so with this design, it's not as much of a problem. So I'll show you that at the end of the stream on the other doll. And that is a tutorial that will be coming out hopefully next month during the month of a lot of videos.
Yeah, the month of more videos.
Yeah, the month of more videos. Let's stick with that. I don't want to commit to a lot of videos. We're just gonna say more videos. I'm not positive.
Vaguely.
I'm not positive on how many videos it's going to be next month because I don't want to like work myself into my grave. Yeah. But there will be a lot more videos next month than usual.
Yes.
Than usual. Maybe not than normal. Like, I'm not going to be like one of those YouTubers that's literally posting a video every day.
Well, and with what you do, it's just not realistic.
It's literally not possible. Well, some of these videos aren't going to be tutorials, and that's the reason why, like, most of them will be tutorialistic in nature, but, like...
Because, you know, you're creating all these patterns, and
oh yeah, it takes a long time to design everything.
There's several prototypes usually before it goes into completion, and it takes a long time for you to be able to get all this stuff completed. And yeah, there's no way you could put out like full patterns or full tutorials like that often.
Let me find all of those. Oh yeah, and then we have some other underwear designs. This one's actually a thong. I could show you guys that on the doll, but I don't know. Would we get demonetized for that?
I know, right? Do we want to take panties off a doll on stream?
Well, you guys can just imagine what it would look like. Right. But yeah, it's a thong. It's in the same design. And again, it's like made of the thicker material, so it doesn't really lay flat against the body, so it doesn't really look as good.
Yeah, I know. It's still
so this is a prototype. So yeah, so I have made a thong also. And I wanted to make just a basic underwear, but I just haven't really gotten around to it yet because I have so much stuff going on right now. Again, the month of a lot more videos. So let me show you some other of my shirt designs that I've been working on. And all of these are prototypes, so they don't all fit the doll perfectly exactly. Right. So bear that in mind. But I have a basic shirt tutorial on the channel already, but I've been meaning to do like more of a V-neck or like sweetheart, I guess, is the other neckline, and like things that just have like a dip down and come back up again, like V shape to them. And this one is more like a
plunging neckline.
Yeah, exactly, like a plunging neckline or a V-neck style neckline. So this is the first one that I've tried to design. I think I've made a couple of prototypes with this in the past, but they're like lost in the studio in like the WIP bags. And I just wanted to make another one because I didn't really want to dig through.
It's somewhere in there.
So this one doesn't perfectly fit around her booty quite yet, and also the straps are a little big, but you get the general idea. Ain't it always the way? Yeah, it is actually. Okay, I'm gonna take this off of her and switch to a different shirt. And also, I'm going to request my Starbucks. Thank you.
Shelby says, it does take a while. She crochets and forgets and wants to crochet something different. We were just talking about how...
Yeah! Oh my gosh! Yes! 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 Switch to the other camera so I can talk about this for a second. Yes, I was just talking about how it bothers me that we don't have the studio set up yet because we don't really have any space where I can set out all of the things that I'm working on that I want to see and work on. So I've kind of just been like dumping them in bags and dumping them in boxes and stuff and kind of just putting them away so that I can get to doing what I'm trying to do.
So we have more room just out here.
Yeah, exactly, to be able to do other things and also to work on the one thing that I want to work on without having just a bunch of junk everywhere. But whenever I put it into a box, then I just end up forgetting about it, and then I go on to this other thing, and then I like don't work on it for so long that it ends up becoming like, do I even want to work on that anymore? And then it goes into like especially with and that's like never really
especially with types of craft, and if you just get better and polish and improve your
craft. Yeah, that's a big problem that I have. It's almost like she'll come across
how
much improvements I've had over the past couple years.
It's outdated because now she's like Liz 3.0, and that was like Liz 1.5.
I know, we're way past that operating system. Yeah. We're at a different level now. So yeah, let me switch out which shirt this one is wearing. I'm pretty sure I have another shirt in here somewhere. Where did that go? Where did you go? Where is it?
Just hiding her clothes.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I found it. Okay, so this one is this one's more like in the style of the V-neck t-shirt thing that I was saying that I wanted to try to. I'm putting it on her wrong. Don't switch yet. She's not wearing it. It takes a little while to put these because
she's indecent. So
well, the other shirts that I showed you guys have an open back so that I can just slip it onto their arms and then it's just on. Right. But this one doesn't have that. It's just a shirt. So I have to kind of cram her head through the neck hole in order to get it on her. And also this one was going to just be like, I was kind of going to try to make just a regular t-shirt for her with this, but I like was using a random piece of scrap yarn that I had frogged from something like an earlier project that I ended up like that I was prototyping and I ended up frogging. But because I was using this scrap, I literally just ran out of fabric, or I ran out of yarn, so I ended up just making it like really short, so it ended up accidentally being a crop top, so sorry about that. You can switch to the camera now. Okay, so an accidental crop top, but with a V-neck and with just a regular like back instead of like how this one was, where it has like this little strap style back and where the straps come together like this, like or where the back comes together at the middle and there's like straps connecting to it like this. I wanted it to be more like of a t-shirt style back. So I'm probably going to just make another one of these that isn't a crop top with like one continuous piece of thread so that I can see what it looks like to the full t-shirt progression. And then also I can try to make a fitted version of the same style of shirt. But all of these shirts are made with like the exact same technique, just different like numbers of stitches in different places. So I kind of want to do a series of videos.
Shirt styles,
yeah, exactly, using this technique, because you can make like a bikini, you can make a spaghetti strap shirt, you can make like a strap to like muscle shirt style shirt, like you can make a t-shirt, like you can make any type of shirt really using this technique, like, and just make it different lengths, different like thicknesses of strap, that sort of thing, and then also putting the back at different like heights and stuff like that. So it's a really, really customizable pattern. But I'm not really sure how much I can put into one video, so I almost think I'm probably going to have to do a different video for each different type of shirt, just to, like, make the video not, like, an hour long.
Right, I know. It's an hour-long video of every type of shirt.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Right. So I feel like more people would be interested in seeing each specific type of shirt than, like, here's all the shirts in one video. But, so yeah, there's all of the shirts that I've been working on. And is that... No, that's not all the things. Not yet. There's another couple of things. Oh, yeah. And since I was showing you guys those fishnets, I made another mesh piece using the same technique. And let me just slip that onto... It's hard to do.
I got so many holes.
Yeah, that's the thing with mesh. But it looks cute, though. And I don't remember exactly how I made this, but but I made myself one single fishnet mesh glove using the same exact technique. But this one I used just the Aunt Lydia's like crochet thread to use or to make. And this also has like a decent amount of stretch, even though it's
just thread.
Just thread instead of elastic.
Right.
But I think maybe because it's the Aunt Lydia's instead of the instead of the actual just straight up thread, like it has a lot more give and a lot more like it like lets itself stretch with the contours of your skin.
No, that looks super cute.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to put like a little black ribbon like threaded through around the wrist, and then have I have this little spot that's like not connected that I kind of want to like tie together with like a bow or something. So yeah, and like I don't think I'm gonna make myself another one because this one was a little bit like
a little intense,
a little tricky to make, and then also it's like it's just like I just don't like all of the sewing in tails and stuff like that, and I guess I don't really like making clothes that much, so there's that as well. And also when I wear things like this, I do usually just wear one anyway. So I think I will just make myself the one.
No, that's cool.
So, yeah, there's that. Just take this off. A little bit tricky to put on and take off, though.
Right, I imagine the trouble with lacy gloves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to, mess up the material or anything, so I am removing it carefully. It's probably fine, but I don't want to, yank it out or anything.
No, yeah, you don't want to.
And I guess I don't really want it to turn inside out, because then I would have to turn it back, and I don't really want to deal with that. So I'm just taking it off very neatly.
Nobody wants to deal with that.
Okay. And I think I have a couple of other things that I want to show y'all. Here we go. So, as I said earlier, I was going to be trying to make a bow for my centaur girl. And the technique that I'm going to use is going to probably be very similar to what I'm about to show you guys. Here, let me move this out of the way for now. Okay. So, here is a couple of heel bottoms that I'm making. And you can tell that they are not quite finished yet. I've only made the footbeds and the heels themselves. I haven't made any of the shoe And I'm kind of like debating what I want to do for this shoe too. I kind of maybe am thinking I might make these like just more of like a strappy set of heels just for simplicity's sake, you know?
Right.
Because I could make it like a full set of like heels, but
too.
that would like there's a couple of reasons why it would be less optimal to do that. And one of the reasons why is because I've improved the technique already because these were the prototypes. So I kind of don't really want to put a lot of investment into these shoes because they're not like the best that I could make. So I don't really want to like do a whole lot because I've already moved on to a new, better prototype. Right. But you can kind of tell that they're not exactly the same shape and size. Like kind of by a lot. I'm not sure if you can really tell as much as I can because, you know, I have a critical eye of my own work, as a lot of people.
Oh, Shelby says she loves the high heels.
Nice, thank you. But yeah, like they're not perfect. Oops, they're not perfect. So I'm a little bit bothered by them, but like I think I can get away with turning them into just a pair of strappy heels without them like being too obviously different. And the reason why these are so different to each other's shape and size is because I totally freehanded them. I didn't do any kind of like drafting or patterning or anything like that. They're completely just like freehanded, and I measured it against the bottom of the doll's foot, like roughly, and then I just kind of freehanded everything after that. So these aren't like perfect. And I guess that maybe I shouldn't have gone as far with this, but I was having too much fun. But I made another prototype that I actually pretty much completed one shoe, and then the other one I just have the sole. So here's the other sole that I made, and this one is much more thick, as you can see, but that's because I shaped it to the doll's actual foot. Whereas this one I kind of like, I don't know. It was for a different doll, first of all, but right. I think I was kind of going for a more like slender heel type of look, where this one I kind of wanted it to just actually be a shoe that fully encloses the doll's foot. So it came out a lot thicker because of that, and I did not freehand this one. This one was done with a pattern, which is why it's a lot more like, I don't know, neat, I guess. Right. Whereas these are like a lot more messy. Like you can kind of see some like wire peeking out of a lot of places, and like you can kind of see some things peeking in this one, but not
as much
as the others. And there are a lot more like clean lines and stuff, where this one has a lot more jagged spots.
Right.
But also the materials that I used are different, and that has a lot to do with why these are more neat and these are more jagged. So let me show you the shoe that is pretty much done. But here's the shoe that I made, and I started out trying to make it just a basic pump, but it kind of was having a lot of trouble just staying on the doll's foot, so I did add this little strap that I'm planning on putting some sort of fastener on.
Right.
So let me show you that on the doll's foot real quick. Let me just stick it on there, and then I'll show it to you guys. And I have some pins in the doll's head here that are waiting for me to stick them in her foot. Okay, here. Okay, cool. So, if you guys saw my Instagram post earlier, I did post a photo of
something
this.
Like that, a little bit.
Yeah, it looks something like that. And this is just the pin that I've stuck into the strap to fasten it temporarily to her foot. I'm not sure what type of fastener I should use in the long term. Right. Maybe a hook and eye, maybe a small button, because I did get a bunch of tiny doll buttons when I made my doll sweaters video. So I do have a bunch of tiny buttons. And this is a lot more of a like chunky design just because it is trying to fit this giant foot of this style of doll. Yeah. But I would like to do some experimentation with this technique using like a Barbie doll and stuff like that. Yeah. The only problem is I had just happened to not have any Barbie dolls that wear heels. I don't know how this happened, completely by accident, but I've just bought a couple of Barbies because I wanted to get into like doing more like Barbie doll type and like other type doll stuff.
Right.
But just all of the dolls that I happened to get just like at like flea markets and such, like just happened to all have flat feet, and I'm just What are the chances?
It's funny. What are the odds?
Because in my experience, at least, most dolls don't wear flats, but all the ones that I have wear flats for some reason. I don't know. But so I'm just gonna try to look around more for like used dolls that don't wear flats, I guess, so that I can try to make a smaller sized version of this heel. And the other thing that I was testing out earlier, but I don't think I can really show you effectively, is that I was able to get her to like stand up in it, but I did have to kind of like stack her foot with a bunch of other stuff. But I was able to get her to stand up. Oh, there we go. Nope. But yeah, I can get her to stand up in these heels, so I'm kind of confident that when I have both shoes completed, I'll be able to like stand her up.
Yeah, put them in a pose and get them to stand.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's like balancing like issues that I have to do.
It's kind of like a rock stacking art. A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to have a lot of patience to get these dolls to pose really, really well. But so I'm pretty excited for completing these shoes. But that is the last thing before our hyped up doll. So
yeah, so
it's time to show the hyped up doll.
So thanks again for
the other video.
Thanks again for joining us on this late stream, though. You guys made it all the way here. It's been a little bit of a long one.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long one.
About 50 minutes in right now. So
yeah.
Again, I have a pile of ponies on my lap right now, which I don't mind entirely.
Okay, let me find, where did I put that fishnet that I showed y'all? Where did I put it? Could you hold this one on, please? Oh, there she is. I guess that's another pony, I guess, for you. Okay. Okay. All right, let me move you here. Okay, and we can put the ponies back.
Yeah. And then, so this one, had you worked on it at all on the last WIP Wednesday?
I did, and it's so funny how much progress that I've made, because usually between WIP Wednesdays, I don't make this much progress. And you guys can watch the last episode if you like to see, like,
where it was
how very little that I did a couple of weeks ago. Because I literally just had like a head and a torso last week.
Right.
And that's it. But this is largely what I've been working on for the past few days, like a lot. And some of the things that I've already showed you were for this doll. And I have posted a little bit on my Instagram, so if you guys have been following there, you might know some of what's happening there with my dolls. But here she is. She's glorious. She's beautiful. So I've been making this bunny doll in lingerie, and she's going to be the one wearing the fishnets. I'll put them on in a minute in front of the other camera. And I'll also show you in more detail. But I did complete her body, and then I started working on her clothes. I made her this little corset, which is done in the exact same style as all those other shirts, except this one is done without any straps. So it's just a completely strapless version. And I made it with a couple fewer stitches at the back so that it had this little gap that I sealed with some ribbon. And I'm not sure if you can really see, but there's like some lace, some ribbon lacing through at the back. And I also added like some wire boning to it so that it looks more like an authentic.
Should we show it a little closer?
Yeah. Okay. So let me show you guys her face, because I love how this looks.
The face is mind-blowing.
I love the expression on her face, and I love how her eyes came out. It took a long time, but like I think it was so worth it.
Because like just the difference between like the picture you posted a while ago of the bunny when her eyes were just because if
you guys want to see like a in between work in progress shot of this doll, I did post to my Instagram when I had just finished completing the body, and I stitched some blue for her eyes like as a base color, and that's pretty much all that it was. But I hadn't like fluffed her yet or anything like that, and I hadn't done any of the stitching on her and I actually like sculpted with some thread to make her face this shape too, so it's like
I gave her some cheeks.
So I gave her some cheekbones and some nose structure and some jawbone and a little bit of brow bone, which you can kind of sort of see, like if I show real close, you can maybe kind of see that the stitching doesn't flow the same here as it does here.
Right.
But But yeah, I love this.
It came
doll.
out amazing.
And she is not completely finished yet at the face. I do actually want to give her some lashes and hair. Like some regular like doll style hair instead of like bunny fur. But here, let me grab this real quick because I was thinking of giving her like maybe like pink hair or like blonde and pink hair. That was kind of what I'm leaning toward, and like kind of like bangs, which is why she has this gigantic forehead, because I kind of want to give her like really heavy like bangs that are like straight across and swept forward over her eyes, so that she's just like real cute and kawaii and stuff. And I'm pretty excited to show you guys. She's got a hair on her boob. Okay, let's move on. Well, I guess she has many hairs on her boobs because she's all furry. And I'm super, super excited to show you guys that technique because I've done a couple of things kind of like that on the channel before, like for my cat ears and tail video that I did. I pretty much used the same technique in this doll as I did for that video. So if you guys want to see how I did that, you can watch that video. And then I used the same exact doll from my realistic body doll, and then I used the ears from my bunny ears video. But this was like obviously a small shrunken down doll size version of the ears instead of the full human size version that I made in that video. So all of those tutorials combined to make this doll, and I made her feet like a little tiny bit longer, and I kind of sculpted them with stitches a little bit too.
Nice. Yeah, no, she came out amazing.
Yeah, I think she looks great. And you can see the ribbon at her back.
And then the boning and the corset.
Oh yeah, and I love how the boning of the corset came out. Like, I'm not sure if you can really see the detail as well on the camera.
Because that just it changed the overall shape of the corset.
Oh yeah, because I was having so much of a problem of the corset just kind of falling off of her over and over again, and kind of just like coming off of her. So I just put the boning on to, like, first of all, to add the texture and make it look more like a real corset. But then also it just like, it gives that shape that I wanted.
Yeah, because it just pulls the fabric in the right.
Oh yeah, and side note, I did use a thinner yarn to make this corset than I did for all of the shirts that I showed you earlier. So you can see it's a lot more flat against her body, and it doesn't like pop up a lot, and it doesn't like, I don't know, it's not like jarringly big on her at this scale when you use crochet thread. So it looks pretty nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to give her some pink hair, and like, I'm not sure what accessories that I want to give her other than the heels, obviously, because she is going to have heels.
Right.
And that is one of the reasons why I came up with the technique. But yeah, let me show you guys the fishnets on her, because I really want to show you guys like how much better it is to use this stretchy thread than it is to use regular thread.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to slip this onto her toe and then pull it up her body just like a regular fishnet on a regular size body. And also I have to make her a garter belt because
because they want to slip down.
Yeah, because they do want to slip down because they are made of elastic. If I had made it like a regular size or a regular leggings like I did the other fishnets for the other doll, then I could give it a waistband and that wouldn't be a problem. But because these are thigh highs, I am going to need to give her a garter belt or have like a garter holding system connected to the corset, which is probably more likely what I'll do, just to keep it from getting too bulky.
Right.
But yeah, so there's one fishnet, and then I have the other here. And she does have a little bit of fur protruding through the net, but I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put the other one on. Oops, sorry about that, guys.
Getting knocked around.
Oh, jeez. It's just so stretchy. But yeah, it looks really nice, and it's a good option for making stockings at this scale because elastic thread is kind of expensive. So this is the cheaper one that I used for her. I didn't use like my nice one that I use for garments.
Right.
But But yeah, it's like it works well for something at this scale, but I don't think it's practical to do it like for a full-sized person. You could do it, but it would be kind of expensive. It would be way more expensive than buying a pair of fishnets.
Right. Seriously.
So,
don't do that. It costs more and it'd be a headache.
Yeah. And then if it broke, then you'd be sad. But for a doll who's not going to wear them or who's not going to like use them in a way that'll like give them wear and tear or whatever. Right. Like they're gonna be fine. So I don't mind using it for something like that. But it looks a lot nicer. It like is more fitted to the body. Actually, I don't think I've tried the heel on her yet. So oh wait, did it fall off of her?
Oh no.
Well,
it's in there somewhere.
It should be in there somewhere. Those are the other heels. There it is. Okay. But yeah, I haven't tried the heel on her yet. I don't know if it will fit her because her feet are a tiny bit bigger, but you know, yeah, they are a little bit bigger.
It's that
the
long
shoe does
bunny
not
foot.
fit. Yeah. But I'm thinking maybe I will end up doing like the more strappy heels on her instead, maybe instead of the pumps, just because they like obviously first of all they don't fit her, but also like I think it would show off the shape of the foot and the nets better if I give her open like strappy heels, I guess.
Right.
So I think I might do that. But also, I need to decorate the corset more with more than just boning. Like, I kind of want to put, like, some colorful lace on it of some kind. Or, I don't know. Just some kind of embellishment. I'm not sure what would be good, but I don't know.
But yeah, no, she turned out super good.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what she'll look like with her hair, too.
And I love the eye details. Just came out super cool.
Yeah, I know. The eyes took forever to do, but like I love her expression and her cute little bunny teeth and like her. Like I think she came out super beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that's the last whip. Do you want to switch back to our
back to us?
All right, so thanks for everyone that joined us for this super late stream.
Late night stream that ended up being a long stream. We're just over an hour right now, but thanks for everyone that's come by and checked our stuff out. This is such
a long stream.
Right, it's probably our longest one.
And it's so funny because every time we do this, I'm always afraid that I'm gonna like not have enough whips that I've been working on to like fill up enough time, and then we always go way over
time. So
yeah, but
yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed what you saw. Leave a comment if you guys want to talk about anything you saw on the stream, or let us know what you guys are working on too, because it's just, you know, nice to spread the community and get more people just talking about the stuff that they're making. And
yeah, for sure. And also don't forget that we're going to be doing a WIP Wednesday every week for next month. So
for National Crochet
and it's
Awareness.
D. D showed up for the end of the stream.
Hey
D. We're about to go.
Aww.
But hey, switch back to the other camera real quick. Let me show you guys just one more shot of my beautiful bunny girl. This is just for you, D. Here she is. Isn't she gorgeous?
It's just
So we're gonna take off in a while. So do you wanna maybe switch back to us?
Yeah. Back to us again.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a WIP Wednesday every week next week, and we might
next month.
Next month. Yeah, and every week for the next few weeks. That's what I meant to say. Thank you. But so we're going to be doing that, and then there will be a few extra videos next month for National Knitting and Crocheting Month. So look for that. And
yeah, what kinds of videos were you planning on? Are they like?
I don't want to I don't want to say too much so that I'm not like.
Right.
I guess so that I'm not like over committing myself, but you guys will see. I guess.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Sorry about that.
Oh. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery. I mean, there's some of the stuff that I've been showing you guys during the stream that I'll be. D says, "Ooh, bunny."
Yep, it's cute bunny.
Nice. Thank you for the compliments, everybody. So, we'll be here next week, and also, like, there'll be new videos in the next month. So, look for that, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.